Good morning, maybe even good afternoon. It's afternoon. So, I was watching a video a while back. Tony from Uncle Tony's Garage was talking about the quality of aftermarket parts. Now, those of you who have been watching my channel for a while know that I work in the parts industry. I was a leprechaun, then I wore a blue shirt, and I'm a leprechaun again. So, I can tell you, I've been doing it since 2006, and I can tell you just in this period of time that the quality of parts has gone to hell, for lack of a better term. It used to be, I remember back, way back, when I first started driving the Cricket, the green Cricket, back when it was blue. I had to walk into a parts store, old CSK stores, Kragen in San Diego. And, the cars weren't in the books. And the computers were barely functional. They were all MS-DOS, they weren't any kind of Windows-based programs or anything like that. Not that I really know computer stuff, but, you type in Plymouth Cricket and you'd find filters and spark plugs, distributor cap, that's about all you'd find. Wiper blades, maybe. Brake pads, no brake shoes, they weren't even in the books. So I would have to go, basically, the one manager would turn me loose, just let me go in the back and find stuff that fit. So that's how I found shocks that fit it, that's how I found struts that fit it, that's how I found stuff that would work. So I learned how to read a parts manual. I learned how to use micrometers and stuff, doing all that. But I can tell you, even back then, that the quality of the stuff that I was finding was a lot better than a lot of the stuff we see today. Now, in Tony's video, excuse me, I've got a cold here, but in Tony's video, he pointed out that, or he seemed like he was trying to steer away from, oh, it's China, oh, it's China, it's China. China parts are junk. China parts are junk. Sometimes you find pretty decent things, like I have shown you before that I buy those little Bluetooth amplifiers, receivers, and I put them into my cars. Like, I've been replacing all the radios in my cars with those things, and I just play the music off my phone. And I have gotten some junk. I've gotten dead units right out of the box, but some of them have been real cheesy looking crap, and other ones have looked good, and they've been working for years. So it's hit or miss. The quality control over there, if it exists at all, is very spotty. But see, back in those days when I first started finding parts for the Cricket, there might have been 20 vendors or 20 manufacturers making the same parts. There might have been 10 manufacturers making the same parts, but they all differed in look, finish, build, quality. It used to be people's attitudes were, you go to Napa, you're going to get the best quality parts, the best tools, and the best people, but you're going to pay through the nose for it. You go to Kragen, you're going to get techs behind the counter. Like usually you'll walk into an O'Reilly or a Kragen, Kragen back then, now it's O'Reilly. But anyway, you're going to walk in there and there's going to be a whole bunch of people behind the counter that don't know a damn thing about cars, or they think they know about cars. And then there's going to be that one old guy. If he's not the commercial guy, he's just that one old guy on the counter that's kind of burned out of the industry, but he's a gearhead, so me. And it's gotten more and more like you go into an AutoZone and that guy doesn't exist for the most part. O'Reilly doesn't pay well. AutoZone doesn't pay well. Advanced stores are closing. They're probably on their way out. Napa's are 60% of Napa stores are independently owned, or franchises. So they're not actually Napa stores. They are blah, blah, blah auto parts doing business as Napa. So if you look them up and they say, XXX City Auto Parts, they say, Performance Auto Parts, they say blah, blah, blah Auto Parts, and then Napa, then they are most likely a franchise. If they say Genuine Auto Parts, Napa Auto Parts, they are probably corporate. But most of them are independently owned. So they have to sell a certain amount of Napa products to have the signage and all that stuff. But then they can also sell stuff that has nothing to do with Napa. The last Napa store I worked at was an independent store, and corporate bought them back out. And so that store was full of stuff that wasn't Napa stuff. And people are like, hey, I've been coming here for years, I've been buying this stuff. And it's like, well, we don't sell that. Well, you used to. Well, we don't anymore. And you have to explain to them why. The paint department didn't hardly sell any Napa product, but they made so much profit off of the stuff they did sell. And they had so much business. I mean, that store did $1 million a month, just in paint, a straight profit. That your corporate was like, okay, we're going to let you keep doing that. And eventually they were going to pull the paint department out of the store and put them in a separate building. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, back then you had several manufacturers making different quality of parts. Napa usually sold the best stuff. Kragen sold kind of down the middle, and then Chief Auto Parts sold crap, Nowadays you have two or three, and there really isn't much difference in the quality parts. I can tell you, like Napa's product, you have your Eklund product. Eklund name has been around forever. You can pull that part out of the box. I've seen a Toyota part in a Toyota bag with a Toyota tag on it come out of the box. It says made in Japan on the box. But usually, most of their parts are made by Federal Mogul, Honeywell, whoever, and then you go for the cheap line, the Proformer line, and you pull them both out of the box and they're identical. They have the same lot numbers, they have the same everything, so they are identical. What's the difference? Well, the warranty, usually. The one store, or O'Reilly, even their cheap line has a lifetime warranty on it. So why would you buy the more expensive standard product over the cheap line? Well, how many times do you want to change it? The store's not going to cover your labor. They'll give you a new part. And so you keep buying the same part every 6 months until you get frustrated and you go somewhere else. Or you buy the more expensive one and it's the same crappy part. Or vice versa. You might buy the cheaper one that has a 1-year warranty on it instead of a lifetime, and it might last years. So, this is the industry today. Starters and alternators. There are 3 companies out there doing remanufacturing starters and alternators en masse. There are smaller places that are doing limited supply. There are your little mom and pop places that will rebuild your old one. But I'm talking about when you walk into a parts store and you want a starter and alternator, there are 3 companies that make them. Most of the parts stores use 2. There is MPA and there's BBB Industries. BBB Industries are slightly better than MPA. Napa sells BBB, O'Reilly sells BBB. O'Reilly used to sell MPA, and Napa sold MPA like 12 years ago. I think AutoZone is MPA. Pep Boys was MPA. And Pep Boys doesn't exist anymore, so I don't know what the new company uses. And I'm not sure what AutoZone uses. I think they're BBB. But the BBB stuff really wasn't that much better. I can tell you this from Napa. You can buy, so you say, okay, you buy a manufacturer part. I'm going to buy a Denso Reman. Guess what? They're built by BBB. Same internal components that their Napa line, O'Reilly line makes. The difference is they put the MPA, instead of sandblasting them, leaving kind of a rough finish, they'll put them in a bead roller, and they come out looking like a factory finish. That's the only difference. They're the same damn thing. And the Denso alternator will give you a year warranty versus a lifetime MPA, and you're getting the same damn thing. 2 companies. So what does this boil down to? What is my point? You don't have a choice anymore. You need parts? Buy them. Go buy them. Doesn't matter where you buy them. You might save some money buying them on Rock Auto, buying them online. You're going to have to wait on them. Returns are going to be hell. Warranties are going to be about impossible. But you're not going to find better parts at Napa, O'Reilly, AutoZone, whatever. You're not going to find a store that sells the better stuff, because the better stuff doesn't exist. It's all the same stuff. And a lot of it is just plain junk, unfortunately. I just put another oil pressure sender in Christie's Jeep, in the black Jeep. It's the third one I put in. The first one started leaking. The second one, there was actually nothing wrong with it, I think, but the engine blew up. It started reading 0 oil pressure on the freeway, and I think it actually had 0 oil pressure, but it might have just been a sensor. I wasn't going to trust it full of metal, so I swapped it. Well, it started leaking, and it started reading 0 at idle hot, so I put a new sensor in it. Now it's reading like it's supposed to, so see how long it lasts for. It's junk. It's all junk, and there's nothing you can do about it. This whole industry, supposedly, this whole industry is going away. In 20, 30 years, nobody will be driving their own cars. Everybody will be riding in electric Ubers, and which I don't see how that can happen completely, but there will be places that will service vehicles, and they will buy things commercially. But you walking into a parts store and changing your own oil, probably not going to happen 30 years from now. It'll be illegal. It'll be illegal for you to work on cars. It'll be almost impossible to work on cars. Tesla has come out with an electric engine module that will bolt in place of a 350 turbo 350. Boom, there you go. Now you got your green electric vehicle. And I'm not against that kind of technology, but it's not there yet. We're not there yet. They need to come up with a better thing for lithium, or at the very least come up with a way to recycle it, because when your batteries are spent, there's nothing you can do with them. You just bury them, throw them in the ocean, something, I don't know. But it's not good for the environment at all. And then the mining process and all the processing is horrible for the environment too. So your green car is worse than your gas car. But anyway, so my point is, you're going to buy parts, you're going to buy them wherever you buy them from. Don't expect them to be one better than the other. If you can buy old stock, Rock Auto used to be good about having old stock stuff, but you never knew. It was either going to be absolute junk from China, absolute junk from America, or it might be an old thing made in America. You might get lucky. And made in America, let me touch on that. Everybody talks about, okay, try to buy made in America. So, at the risk of sounding racist, you buy something made in America these days. Well, first of all, what's it made out of? Well, you read the fine print. It says made in America out of global components. So the same crap that the Chinese built ones are being made out of, the ones that are assembled in America are being made out of that same crap. And who's assembling them? Well, the people working for minimum wage under high stress environment, high productivity environment. So you basically got a guy standing behind you cracking the whip saying, go, 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 you have a quota, do all this stuff. What kind of equality are you getting? But yet you're paying 3 times more for it. I'd rather buy the $2 part from China than a $20 part from America that's being made out of Chinese crap by somebody who either doesn't care about their job or is so scared of losing it that they're going to screw it up and throw it together as fast as they can. It's just the world today, people. It sucks, but it's the world today. And I'm tired of having to replace parts, and I know you guys are too. That's one of the reasons I got out of the automotive industry to begin with, or the repair industry. So take it easy on your counter guy, because all we do is sell parts. If somebody builds the parts, it gets shipped somewhere, it gets put in an Napa box, an O'Reilly box, an AutoZone box, and then it goes to us, and then we sell it. We don't build it. We don't contract to have it built. We just buy it from these guys. And don't go telling us I can get it, at so-and-so website for quarter what you're charging for it. If that's the case, then just go get it. Okay, we're not going to buy it from those guys and sell it to you. We're not going to take a loss on it. And again, you're going to have to deal with all the crap if something's not right, something warranty, whatever. You have to deal with all that crap. And then you got to sit and wait for it to show up 3-4 days. So maybe overnight, but you know, if you got to have it that cheap and that you know, questionable, then go for it. Go do it. We don't need to hear about it because it's just frustrating, whatever. You know, we don't make the prices. You know, the global market makes the prices, and then there's an automatic markup on it. So, you know, but there's a whole lot of crap out there, and you just got to kind of weed through it, or wade through it, or just deal with it. You know, that's all there is. But anyway, stay busy, stay on your project, stay safe. You know, show some things off, get some things done. That's what I'm going to go do. See you later.